Prisiats. One of the enforcers behind Furaneo cleared his throat. Damn this delay, Furaneo thought. The whole bureau had been in a state of jitters ever since the Max alert message on the Abneth case. This call he was preparing to make might be their first real break. He sensed the fragile urgency of it. It could be the most important call he had ever made, and directly to McKee at that. The sun, barely over the Billy Mountains, spread an orange fan of light around him from the windowed doorway through which they had entered. "Looks like it's going to be a long wait for this tappy," one of his enforcers muttered. Furaneo nodded curtly. He had learned several degrees of patience in 67 years, especially on his way up the ladder to his present position as planetary agent for the Bureau. There was only one thing to do here: wait it out quietly. The Prisiats took their own time for whatever mysterious reasons. There was no other store, though, where he could buy the service he needed now. Without a Prisiat transmitter, you didn't make real-time calls across interstellar space. Strange, this Prisiat talent, used by so many sentients without understanding. The sensational press abounded with theories on how it was accomplished. For all anyone knew, one of the theories could be right. Perhaps the Prisiats did make these calls in a way akin to the data linkage among Pan's specie crashmates. Not that this was understood either. It was Furaneo's belief that the Prisiats distorted space in a way similar to that of a Caliban jump door, sliding between the dimensions. If that was really what Caliban jump doors did. Most experts denied their theory, pointing out that it would require energies equivalent to those produced by fair-sized stars. Whatever Prisiats did to make a call, one thing was certain. It involved the human pineal gland or its equivalent among other sentients. The Prisiat on the high bench began moving from side to side. "Maybe we're getting through to it," Furaneo said. He composed his features, suppressed his feelings of unease. This was, after all, a Prisiat breeding center. Xenobiologists said Prisiat reproduction was all quite tame, but Xenos didn't know everything. Look at the mess they'd made of analyzing the pan-specie consentiency. "Pucha, pucha, pucha," the Prisiat on the bench said, squeaking its speech needles. "Something wrong?" one of the enforcers asked. "How the devil do I know?" Furaneo snapped. He faced the Prisiat, said, "Are you the transmitter?" "Pucha, pucha, pucha," the Prisiat said. "This is a remark which I will now translate in the only way that may make sense to ones like yourselves of soul-earth ancestry. What I said was, I question your sincerity." "You gotta justify your sincerity to a damned Prisiat?" one of the enforcers asked. "Seems to me—" "Nobody asked you," Furaneo cut him off. Any probing attack by a Prisiat was likely a greeting. Didn't the fool know this? Furaneo separated himself from the enforcers, crossed to a position below the bench. "I wish to make a call to Saboteur Extraordinary George X. McKee," he said. "Your robo-greeter recognized and identified me and took my credit chit. Are you the transmitter?" "Where is this George X. McKee?" the Prisiat asked. "If I knew, I'd be off to him in person through a jump door," Furaneo said. "This is an important call. Are you the transmitter?" "Date, time, and place," the Prisiat said. Furaneo sighed and relaxed. He glanced back at the enforcers, motioned them to take up stations at the room's 2 doors, waited while they obeyed. Wouldn't do to have this call overheard. He turned then, gave the required local coordinates. "You will sit on the floor," the Prisiat said. "Thank the immortals for that," Furaneo muttered. He'd once made a call where the transmitter had led him to a mountainside in wind and driving rain and made him stretch out, head lower than feet, before opening the overspace contact. It had had something to do with refining the embedment, whatever that meant. He'd reported the incident to the Bureau's data center, where they hoped one day to solve the Prisiat's secret, but the call had cost him several weeks with an upper respiratory infection. For an Ireneo sat.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.